Warning, members of the podcast are not professional analysts and are bound to make unreasonable and uneducated claims, which should not be taken seriously.
What's up, guys? It's Van here with the At the 50 podcast, and today's episode we will be doing our Week 8 recap. We should also be having some more interviews coming out sometime in the upcoming weeks, so be on the lookout for that.
And we're having a special guest next Thursday as well.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We
special
are?
guest.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after this. Anyways, we're going to start with Thursday Night Football, Ravens-Bucks. Ravens come out on top 27-22. What do we have to say about that?
Tom Brady is washed, even though he's somehow still putting up good numbers.
How would you play if you just got divorced?
I mean, he's still top
I don't
five.
think
He clearly doesn't
He
He
care.
can't see his kids anymore, okay? He
You
can't
know, if
kiss
he-
them.
He
Very
barely saw
longingly
Yeah,
goodnight.
if he spent more time practicing instead of kissing his kids, then he'd be in a different situation right now.
Here's the thing, though. The only time he saw his kids was after a Super Bowl win.
That's
Eh,
facts.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
Facts. All right. Baltimore learns how to hold a lead here.
Sadly.
I don't know what Nico's doing over there, but anyways,
Turn off your notification sounds.
turn your ringer off,
Come on,
bozo.
nerd.
I normally have them
Be
off.
professional.
Moving on.
All right, yeah, that game honestly wasn't. I mean, Baltimore came alive in the second half. In the first half, they were playing like absolute garbage. Their offense was horrible. Lamar Jackson found a way. He threw for 2 touchdowns. Their rushing game was actually very formidable as well, with like it looks like almost close to 200 rushing yards across 5 rushers. But moving on from that game, we'll talk about Broncos-Jaguars. Broncos come out on top 21-17. What do we have to say about that?
Those high knees really helped.
They did.
Facts.
Facts.
And I mean, Russell Wilson finally didn't play trash in a game. He was still
True.
average, but he wasn't trash.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think that Etienne also did some high knees before the game because 156 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, that was
good.
He's proving he is their main back.
He's him.
I think
No.
he's definitely proved it.
I think something for Russell
Yeah, well,
Wilson
because they
that
traded James
Richard
Robinson.
Sherman, Richard Sherman said something about Russell Wilson that I really agree with. He was saying that the Broncos staff didn't do their job when picking him up because they're just playing with him with a completely different style, not doing any of the stuff that he was good at in Seattle, and just expecting him to play well, and it's just not working out. So
Yeah, that makes sense. But that game, Trevor Lawrence continues a kind of a downward trend Okay, we're not going over this.
as
a
Price
prophet?
claims he
He's not
predicted.
a prophet.
He did not.
said in a
The
short
one- the one above him.
In an
Spoken
unreleased
of.
short,
The one-
Price stated that you should pick up
It's-
Trevor Lawrence for fantasy,
Where's your
and
proof?
now he's.
Where's
You
your
don't need
proof?
proof if every member of the podcast agrees that.
Where's
Did
your
it happen?
Yes.
But didn't I
You
say
weren't
in
even there that
didn't
Yes, he was.
I believe you.
didn't
Okay.
didn't
I
I,
also
say in
sent
an
the video
episode
to
though that hey he's doing good, but I think he's gonna do bad or gradually get bad? Wasn't I right?
We do not care.
I
We do not
do.
care.
We
I'm
do
here
not
to
care.
tell you right now.
We do not care.
Don't care.
But we might see an uptake in stats, from Lawrence, especially with Calvin Ridley. But I don't think he can't play this season, correct?
Yeah, I think
No,
Or
he can't
he's
play
playing.
this season, but he can
Because
play
he's-
next season.
Yeah, he's suspended
Actually,
right
he
now.
can
I'm-
play if they're not making.
They're
I
not
think-
going to, but I mean, like, I feel like obviously not this year, but next year we're going to see better. I feel like we could see a better production.
yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
betting on him to have a better season next or
Shut
start
up!
out
Shut up!
good
You're
next
done with
season.
jokes for today.
Okay.
It
I-
took us like 4 minutes to start this video
I
because
find
of
it.
him.
I find it. I find it pretty funny that Calvin Ridley decided to go to the team that he was betting against.
He didn't decide, I don't think.
Oh yeah, he doesn't really get to decide that, but like that's where he ended
Cheaters
up
don't
going.
get to decide.
He didn't.
Okay.
He bet on his own team to win and got suspended 17 games. And guys beat their wives literally every day. And Roger Goodell's like, "Hey, I do that too. Here's a handshake. here's a handshake. Here's a
We're not keeping that in.
Yes, we are.
That's your first cut. Let's
No,
keep-
no,
All right,
no,
all
no,
right,
no.
one.
No, Roger
All
Goodell.
in favor for keeping it in, say aye.
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 Woo!
Really?
It's staying in.
Okay.
It was fun.
I mean, it's
That's
funny.
not
I
bad.
just don't know.
Hey, it's legal to hate on Roger Goodell. Everyone does.
Also, were we not
True,
also
true.
in a previous episode talking about Kareem Hunt like kicking women.
Yeah, that's true. Kicking it with Kareem. That was someone's fantasy. That was someone's fantasy team name 2 years ago.
All right, whatever. Yeah.
Let's move on to Dolphins Lions. Dolphins
I
win
think you mean
31-27.
49ers Lions.
No.
Because the Dolphins have decided
yeah.
to pick up the entire 49ers backfield.
They've got Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert. They had. They just
Bless you.
honestly get Christian McCaffrey.
Dang. That's a cough, though.
We'll talk more about McCaffrey later. Detroit in the first half was absolutely balling on Miami. It looked like their offense was back, and then they scored 0 points in the second half.
They also got rid of one of their best pass catchers.
Sure, they traded
T.J. Hawkinson.
They traded him into the
They are
Vikings.
literally
that's-
doing
yeah, that was
Lions
dumb.
moves by getting rid of they were in a rebuild phase. They've been in a
yeah.
rebuild phase for the past 20 years, and I legitimately thought this could have been the start for something good. And then they get rid of one of their key players that they have been building their offense around.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
understand trading
it's
him
like
away because he's getting pretty old and they're not at that point yet.
pretty old. He's like
28,
25.
29.
No, he's young.
I thought
He's
he was
like
like
Look it
28,
up.
29.
Someone look it up.
I got it.
But
Yeah.
anyway, but it was just stupid to trade them to a division rival. Like,
Yeah, I think that was honestly kind of.
In my opinion, I think what they're just trying to do is they're trying to get the Vikings to literally just beat Green Bay and win the division because they'd rather have someone else in Green Bay win it.
That would be the ultimate spiteful move. I could see Detroit doing that, but Miami is still undefeated in games where Tua's head doesn't get turned into ramen noodles. But
25 years old, just like I said.
really,
Yes.
Are we?
TJ Hawkinson.
They
man
are.
in the Bucks division, so
How?
it's not that hard.
That's such.
Matt Ryan was clearly the problem.
No. That is literally the league's reaction. How?
Matt Ryan was the problem.
Facts.
Matt Ryan was the
Problem
problem.
with the Falcons and the Colts.
It's facts. It's facts. All I see are facts.
Oh, and
But-
Pitts had his first touchdown that wasn't in London.
Yep. Let it be known that I picked up DJ Moore in fantasy, and everyone made fun of me, and he scored like almost 30 points. So
Yeah, but he also did lose them the game by taking off his
Yes.
helmet. Like
I
a
don't
numpty.
care that they lost. I care about fantasy points.
That's fair. That's fair. Let it be known. I also picked up Kyle Pitts for this week as well. Or well,
just for
week
this. Nice.
because
I love-
Kelsey was on a bye.
I love when Kyle Pitts does nothing for me. Literally puts up 0 points multiple times, and then as soon as I cut him, here he goes off.
That's because you're a Bengals fan. But yeah. Carolina came absolutely out of nowhere in the fourth quarter. It was looking bleak. PJ Walker throws an absolute bomb to DJ Moore, who catches it and then proceeds to ruin the game by taking off his helmet and throwing it like Stephon Diggs did in the Minneapolis Miracle, which I don't think that should be a penalty. It's the stupidest taunting penalty. Like, everything about the reffing this year has just been 1 out of 10.
Soft.
Soft.
But to be honest, they kind of have.
What is this, golf?
But to be honest, they kind of have to be after what happened to Tua. It's
but-
understandable.
But that doesn't.
It's understandable.
That doesn't
No, no, no,
matter
what-
to
what I'm-
taking off
what-
your helmet. And
No. What I'm saying
We
is
get-
it's
yeah.
understandable in some cases, but then when it comes to all the taunting stuff, it's just like when Stephon Diggs.
Goodell
No,
thinks they're
no.
high schoolers and they're grown men. They
we
can
need
do
a new
whatever they-
commissioner.
They can do whatever they want.
Petition to fire Roger Goodell or whatever you
I
do.
think
Please do not take down this video.
I think the
I do not care.
NFL, please do not.
I think the reason that they're saying don't take off your helmet when celebrating anymore is because in the preseason or the off season with Aaron Donald, where he took off his helmet, and started
yeah.
hitting, assaulting all
You
those
know-
Bengals players.
All I have to say is,
Wah.
Aaron
I still can't
Donald
believe he didn't get in
and
trouble
Myles
for that.
Garrett are both 99s in Madden, and they both also assaulted men with helmets. So,
That must be what it
if you
is.
want to be a 99 overall defensive end, you need to start beating people with your helmet.
There you go.
Quiddy Payne needs to start absolutely wailing on Trevor Lawrence next time when they play.
All right, moving on. We got the Vikings, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
We do not
suck.
care. New
They're
Call of
just
Duty came out. That's
terrible.
all I got to say.
Oh, okay, so that explains why
explains-
Kyler Murray is.
Is it multiplayer
a
out
child.
right now?
Multiplayer is out. Kyler Murray threw 2 interceptions. I'm going to ignore the fact that he threw 326 yards and 3 touchdowns and blame the 2 interceptions on Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
That is a very
It's not
fair
ridiculous to say that.
Yep, and then the Vikings are actually good when they're not playing on primetime.
They're 6-1. They're absolutely.
And
I
yeah,
hope.
their
Yeah.
one loss was on primetime.
Yeah, because Kirk Cousins on primetime is.
He must have like a terrible astigmatism or whatever, however you say it.
Oh, that's
When you
that.
see-
You know that's actually a really insightful comment from Nico. That is something that happens. I have that and that when there's like
Yeah, I do too.
bright lights everywhere.
Prices
They
as well.
don't look. You have it as well.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about. So like when you have an astigmatism
Yes,
in your
I've
eyes,
been
the
diagnosed.
bright lights, they like blur outwards. Yeah, you might have it because you. Yeah,
Mine
you got
just has
glasses.
like a line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
you're
who
supposed
have
to look like that. But
people who have glasses have like a form of astigmatism. Like I'm not like some people have it worse than others.
Yeah.
But if you have glasses, you do have it.
Yep. That was all right. Medical lecture's over. Cardinals, Vikings. Vikings come on top 34-26.
Yeah.
Minnesota's offense produced every quarter of the game.
And they just added another monster, like we just talked about earlier. Hawkinson.
Man. I can't wait to. I have him in fantasy. I can't wait.
They are going to
I
be
can't wait for Kirk Cousins to throw to him.
They're going to be electric.
Electric.
Yep. Electric.
Cowboys Bears.
All right, moving on.
Justin Fields is the GOAT.
Justin-
Putting up 29 points in a game.
I'm so tired of the Bears being like this.
No. So
That's the
here's my
most
thing
that
on.
Justin Fields has put up in a game.
Here's my
right?
thing about it though
Yes,
is
I think.
the Bears are still being the Bears.
The Bears.
But Justin Fields is actually starting to improve
Improved.
Sorry.
improve a little bit.
And they've got Chase Claypool now too. But they
Yeah.
traded.
Wow,
that
a second.
I
Yeah.
mean, Chase Claypool might
Bro,
be
you
terrible.
are so
but-
salty. Chase Claypool is
He's
a good
not
receiver.
good.
Okay.
What's he done this
Even
season? Nothing.
Steelers
He's
fans thought
non-existent.
he was
There are
He-
so many
he-
players this season who have done nothing but are good
Okay.
players.
He threw a touchdown.
That's true. He did throw a
Claypool did. He might be better than Justin Fields.
You know
That's
who's
why
not,
they-
you know
He's
who's
got more
not doing
passing
anything for the rest of the
touchdowns than,
season?
Drew Lock
Chidobe
this
Awuzie.
Okay, he's hurt, but he's a star.
Exactly. He's
we'll
not doing
talk-
You
anything.
know
so
who's
he-
not doing
talk
anything for
about
the rest of the
Bengals-
season? Matt Ryan.
We'll
Matt
talk
Ryan.
Yeah, I
about
know.
Bengals corners in a
Oh
second.
God.
That's a big topic we got.
Cowboys scored 7 points on the Bears defense. I have honestly no idea. Maybe it's because they traded Robert
Do you
Quinn.
mean 7 touchdowns?
49 points, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, you said 7 points.
I did.
Yes.
Okay, 7 touchdowns, 49 points, whatever.
Stupid.
Yeah. Cowboys
Anyway.
offense is elite. The Bears suck. I'm tired of being a secondary Bears fan. I need to be a fan of a team that's not absolute garbage
Yeah.
for once.
So stop being a Colts
The
fan.
Cowboys
Yeah.
rushing
Hey,
game.
Seahawks are always there for you.
The Cowboys.
Enjoy it while it lasts, buddy.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be. We've had a really easy start, but
Almost
I looked
had to
at-
censor that
I
one
looked
out,
at the
didn't you?
I looked at the second half of the season, and it's a pretty tough second half of the season.
Okay, Price, you can talk now.
Thank you.
So,
Cowboys.
anyways, what I was
Yeah,
The
Prince don't have
Cowboy-
any talking privilege.
Oh my God! The Cowboys rushing game non-existent.
Yep, that's what happens when you're missing Zeke.
What are you
What?
talking about?
did you just say that? You didn't look at the stats. He's sarcastic.
I know, I was kidding too. Didn't
yeah?
Pollard get like 29 something points in fantasy?
32.
131
points.
yards for 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
He's-
Just proving
he's-
Nico's wrong. So.
He has very high potential.
Zeke has also done. Isn't Pollard like 27?
I don't think he's that old. I don't think. I know he's younger than Zeke, but Zeke's old. Old.
What'd you say about Pollard?
He's younger than Zeke.
All I know
No,
is
before
I
that.
trade Pollard. If I
don't
do
know what
a
I say.
Cowboys thing on
You said something about
Madden, I
potential?
trade him away every time.
Oh
'cause-
yeah, I said Tony Pollard has very high potential.
Oh my god.
Zoom cam.
God.
All
Hopefully
right.
the Zoom will work.
All right,
I
all
wasn't
right.
wrong with what I said
Moving,
about,
moving on, moving on.
Olave.
Raiders, Saints. Raiders get blown out. Most boring
Oh
game
my
ever.
God.
Saints score. They do great in the first half, and then just nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
they didn't
nothing
even
to say.
score this
24-0
game,
is
so-
a 24-0 is a score Colts fans are very familiar with from week 2 of this season.
Dude, I
thought it was
just
26.
love
24.
Close
having Devontae Adams and Darren Waller.
Oh yeah,
in my
me
lineup.
too. Yeah.
Devontae Adams, didn't he score negative fantasy points?
Who?
Did he? Let me
No,
check.
he got
In-
1.3.
Well, in one of the that's not PPR, that league. We changed it for some reason.
Alvin
Well,
Kamara had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 rushing, 96 yards.
He scored all their
receiving,
points.
I thought he had
62
one reception for
1.2
3 yards.
rushing.
Something like whatever, but something like that. Raiders suck. Raiders are just terrible.
I mean,
I
Josh
thought they were going to
Jacobs
be
is
good.
trash as well.
Imagine being a Raiders fan. Like, couldn't be any
Our
of us.
guest, or next guest.
Yep, our next guest is a Raiders fan.
Unfortunately for him,
Ain't
hey, you want
no way.
It is. Yes,
Ain't
it is.
no way.
It is. You figured it out. Okay.
All right, moving on.
You want to talk
Lots
about?
and lots of cuts that episode.
You want to talk about Steagles?
100%.
The Steagles
We're
game.
talking about
That
Steagles.
was such a fun game to watch. I loved seeing AJ Brown dust.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I hate the Steelers.
I never
hate the
thought I'd
Steelers
say this,
defense.
but Jalen Hurts was good in the first quarter of a game.
I know, it's incredible. When the Eagles play the Colts, I'm going to go ahead and give a score prediction. 68-0.
Oh no! I need to give my prediction for tonight's game. I
Eagles,
have
Texans.
Wait,
the
who's playing?
Texans beating the Eagles 25-4.
25-4. 2 safeties for the Eagles and nothing else. Like that Iowa State, North Dakota State game or whatever it was. Yeah, and then the Texans also scored 2 safeties, he says, and 3 touchdowns.
That is a joke, but if it does happen, I'm a messiah. So
Anyway,
Ain't no way.
Pickett continues to be a
trash.
pick monster.
Oh, okay. Why do Steelers fans still say, like, oh, he's going to be so good, he just needs time? He's thrown more interceptions than Matt Ryan, I'm pretty sure.
That's saying something.
I think so. Trubisky should have been given a better shot. He deserves it. And also,
They didn't
he's better than Kenny Pickett, obviously.
They didn't even take him out because of his play. They took him out for, like, some other reason. I don't remember what the reason they said
Because
was.
literally all the Steelers fans would just boo Mitch no matter what he
yeah.
did. And then every time Kenny, even if Kenny would like throw an interception, like, oh my God,
It was the
Kenny
receiver's
Pickett.
fault. It was the receiver's fault.
Yeah.
No,
But anyway,
he's
it's-
just bad.
it's literally It's literally the Steelers. They're gonna be like, he's the next Ben Roethlisberger. He's gonna take us to the promised land. He's like, no, he's not good.
But anyway,
He's not been good.
like I said before, any day's a good day that Pittsburgh loses. And also, we did get
Facts.
to see a Minshew sighting. He had
Yes,
oh,
that was
yep, he
great.
did go in. He got to play.
The Eagles
Gardner
played their
Minshew.
backups, and that was amazing to see.
I mean,
That's hilarious.
There's
That's
a
so
Madden audio.
disrespectful.
There's a Madden audio that literally says, "When do you start putting your backups in?" And the guy says, "Oh, you don't in the NFL." And then the Eagles go and put their backups in.
I mean, the Colts' entire backup offense is basically on the field every game, so.
yeah.
same with the Bengals.
Yeah.
Except for their defense.
Patriots Jets, 22-17. Really would
Mac
have liked for the
Jones.
Jets to win.
Yeah, but Mac Jones is going to hold on to that QB1 spot, I think.
Really?
I mean, he had
Neither one of them are
had
very
a- he
good.
had an
They're both
alright
just
game.
there.
Ramondre Stevenson balling out as usual
Yeah,
for this
he's a
season.
good player. Not play.
Not a whole lot of interesting stuff that game.
Without Brees Hall, I feel like the Jets' offense has really slowed down. Like, they can still put up, they can still produce, just not as high of a capacity as they used to be able
I mean,
to.
was James Robinson there for that game? 'Cause-
Yeah, he was. They rushed him
Yeah.
5 times. They
Oh, well,
gave the
that's-
majority of the carries to Michael Carter, but Zach Wilson's stat line really looks like a Jameis Winston kind of. 20 of 41 for 355, 2 TDs and 3 interceptions. That's like Jameis Winston with the Buccaneers. That is
Yeah.
absolutely uncanny.
Could we see another 30-30?
Oh,
30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
what? Oh.
Yeah, maybe if we kept Matt Ryan in, we'd see that.
That's 30-30-30. Add fumbles in there.
And yeah. Honestly, I think that game was kind of boring. There was a lot of boring games this week, in my opinion.
Speaking of boring, Titans, Texans. Yeah.
The battle of the two T's. Neither one's very good.
You're fired. Get out of here. No way you just said that. Leave. Just leave.
How does Malik Willis throw 55 yards?
Because
Yeah.
Malik Willis is a stud. That's how.
I just
10 Okay,
He-
I didn't.
he got injured literally like handing off the ball.
Let me
that's-
tell you right now. Don't let him back in. Let me tell you right now. Ryan Tannehill sucks. He didn't play. Malik Willis, trash. Derrick Henry, absolutely destroyed.
Jesus. Okay, it's the Texans defense. Everyone's been running all over them this whole season.
But 219 yards for 2 touchdowns?
He also got 32 attempts as well.
You know what? That's facts. Every time last year when people were like, no, Derrick Henry's better than JT because he has like 10 more yards, literally JT had half the carries that Derrick Henry had. Because Derrick Henry, they literally only he's their offense. That's it.
He's especially their offense now, considering they don't. I mean, like, the wide receiver core hasn't been awful.
Except Robert Woods has only played well when he played the Colts. So,
Well,
other
yeah.
than that, their
because
receivers.
the Colts-
I mean, when you,
secondary
yeah,
is-
when you play against the Colts, then you just automatically play better because they just suck.
Yeah, because Gus Bradley's like, let me start Brandon Faison over Isaiah Rodgers for no reason. Even though Brandon Faison is literally awful.
Isaiah Rodgers is a pretty good name.
Yeah. What? All right, anyways, that game.
Moving
Titans
on.
come out 17-10. Move on to the next game.
Nico's going to want to talk about this.
Kenneth
Seahawks,
Walker,
Giants.
fantastic player. He just was torching that defense. They couldn't do anything. Geno Smith really deserves that comeback player of the year. He's just
No.
he's been playing phenomenally for the Seahawks so far this season.
You know who they're going to give it to? Prescott.
Who?
Prescott.
They're not giving it to Dak Prescott.
Why?
They're going to.
Injured
No.
for 4
Exactly.
weeks.
No, they have to give
They're
it.
gonna give it to
They
him.
have to give it to Saquon. They have
mean,
to give it to Saquon Barkley.
They're going to give it to Prescott just because he's on
then-
America's team.
The Seahawks defense really stepped up. I mean, like especially on those their special teams was phenomenal. They forced 2 fumbles on punts to get us to get us in great field position, and just overall a great game.
I'm sad the Giants
lost. I'm riding
I'm
the
not.
Giants train for the playoffs in the
Like I
NFC.
like the Seahawks. I like how they've they're playing tough. They're really trying to get every win. Those are the type of teams I like. I like teams like Seahawks.
Yeah, the teams
Giants,
that
and
wanna
Jets
win.
that actually want to win, and they
Unlike-
try.
Unlike
They
some
try to
teams.
do something.
Speaking of teams that don't want to win, Commanders versus Colts.
Yep.
We got a lot to say about this game here.
Me and Van want to talk about this.
I'll sit back.
Watching this game, there was a couple of players on the Colts that did decent things, like Shaquille Leonard came back, really great defensive play, doing his thing, and then Sam Ellinger.
He played
He
well.
he
all right.
for his
for his first NFL
start,
team, 17-23, 201. That's a pretty good stat.
Yeah,
line.
he had like
100
a
passing rating.
73.
Yeah,
he had like a 73 completion percentage, right?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
pretty good.
No TDs, no picks.
No
but,
complaints
like-
from him either.
But no complaints.
Better than Matt Ryan.
And I just saw this on Twitter. He's been working with Stephon Gilmore, talking about like the Patriots defense and how Belichick really runs that over there. So he is committed. Obviously, you have to be, but
Sure.
and stuff like that probably comes out all the time. But I think just seeing this just really proves that he is trying to adapt and be that starting caliber quarterback.
Also, did he have a fumble that he lost?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a really rookie type. So he tucked it, and then he realized a defender was coming from the side he tucked it to. So he tried to switch. He tried to switch arms in the middle of a pile, and obviously he lost the football because
Yeah.
he's a decent sized guy, but he's not like Andrew Luck or Carson Wentz
Yeah.
big for the past.
Well, Carson Wentz big didn't really do him any favors.
Well, when he ran pretty well, but yeah, everything else. Carson
Here's
Wentz.
my thing, though. At least he can keep plays going and doesn't get ragdolled every time he gets touched.
Yeah, or gives up the sack to literally the first defender within a quarter-mile radius. Yeah.
Commanders, I don't have much on them. Their defense played decent.
Heineke should be the starter
Heineke needs
permanently.
to be the starter.
Although he did throw a pick.
Antonio Gibson,
sucks automatically.
their run game
Pretty good.
proving that they're still pretty decent.
Terry
Terry
McLaurin.
McLaurin showing that he is that guy.
Scary Terry, he owns Stephon Gilmore.
I mean-
For all of history, he has owned Stephon Gilmore.
he's had a really slow season, but also that's because one, he's got Carson Wentz throwing to him,
And Taylor Heineke.
Oh, Taylor Heineke, yeah, no. But also, he's been the third favorite for most of the season for no reason.
Sure.
He's their best guy.
Yeah,
that gets
he
no
likes
targets.
Curtis Samuel a lot more for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
And
will
the new
say,
rookie they also target a lot as well.
yeah, I will say Jonathan Taylor, 16 carries for 76 yards for an average running back of average things were expected of him. That would have been a pretty good stat line. The line blocked for one run that went for 20 yards or something. Other than that, it was the same 3 yards per carry, having to fight for every because the don't say anything.
And we
because
got-
the whole collapses.
Jonathan
the whole
Taylor had,
collapses immediately when he
and we-
touches the ball.
Jonathan
was just-
Taylor's
okay,
subtly having
and we
a
got
Najee
and
Harris
we got
type
rid
of
of
season.
and we got
What?
rid of Hines.
Jonathan Taylor's subtly having a Najee Harris type of season where he's a good player, but the O-line's doing nothing, so he does nothing as well.
Yeah.
Joe
The
Mixon?
difference
Oh,
is
and Joe Mixon as well, yeah. We'll
that's
put
actually
him
true.
in that
Yeah,
category.
Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, some of the best running backs in the league. Lines, terrible. This is why people don't understand. Like, this is why you don't like give up first round picks for running backs because a lot has to. They depend on a lot of other players. Same thing for receivers. Like the Bears trading a second rounder for Chase Claypool is the stupidest thing I've ever seen the
100%.
Bears.
Yeah.
They maybe like a third or fourth, maybe. Claypool's not that proven though. But
If you can get
we're not
Christian
really talking
McCaffrey
about
for a
that.
second, third, fourth, and fifth, then you should not have to give a second and whatever else they gave for Chase Claypool.
Yeah, but the Colts they need to really help Jonathan Taylor. Like that's our offense. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
What I was actually going to say was if you double his attempts, which would equal Henry's, still would have less yards than Derrick Henry. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
His yards per carry this season has been way down because he has to fight tooth and nail for every single yard. Whereas Henry gets like 5 yards of untouched to build up momentum. Now I'm not saying he's like Derrick Henry's the best running back in the
Well,
league.
also, it's
but,
the way they
you
run
know.
the plays. Like, the Titans, they give
They're
him more
creative.
space to run before he gets to
Well,
the
also
line.
their
and
O.
JT
their-
gets
Well, also
loads.
here's the
He's
other
right
thing is
line
that the
already.
Titans O line they actually try in some cases. They're not great, but they fight. They try to do something.
And all you got to do is fight because then you've got a running back running behind you. Then all of a sudden it's 2-on-1 guy. Braden Smith is over here counting his freaking money, and every time we run the ball to the right side, JT gets absolutely decimated and loses like 4 yards because they don't like. I don't understand what's wrong with our locker room.
I mean, what
I just-
happened to the Colts O-line? 'Cause
They
last
got
season
paid?
They were really good.
Okay, we let Mark Glowinski go. That was a mistake. We don't have Chris Reed anymore. That was a mistake. We paid Braden Smith. That was a mistake because we paid him a huge contract because he was one of the best right tackles in the league. And then he just all of a sudden is like, nah, I'm not trying anymore. I don't care. Like that's legitimately what it looks
Or
like.
maybe
We're not
he was
like
having a fluky season last season.
maybe,
Spe-
but he's
speaking-
been good for his whole career.
Speaking of not trying, the Rams and 49ers, Rams, they
Trash.
that hangover from the Super Bowl is just really bad. We've seen
Even
pretty
though
bad
they won, it's like
Yeah.
one.
I mean, who's hitting harder, the Rams or the Bengals?
the Bengals.
Rams.
No,
No, I'm saying Rams is getting hit
Rams
harder.
because they won the Super Bowl and then now they're performing like the Niners did the year after they lost the Super Bowl. It's like what like the Rams are 3-4. I mean like the Colts are also 3-4. But like it's believable. Like if last season you were like the Colts are 3-4-1 after 8 games, I'd been like yeah, it's that I would
That's a
know
Colts type of
that's a
thing.
Colts type. Even though we should have been good, yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable. If you feel like the Rams were 3-4, it's like what? They just won the Super Bowl and they retained a lot of talent.
yeah.
Now, they have played a lot of pretty good teams, but they
Yeah.
also have played
Cam
terrible
Cam
against those good
Akers
teams.
And in all honesty, the 49ers game, like them winning 31-14 makes a lot of sense to me because they've really started going. Like they've gotten their offense going. Christian McCaffrey doing his thing. 1 passing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. Got me 40.
First time since like 2004.
40 points
40
you got from
points.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
He's also the first player to have 2 passing touchdowns who's not a quarterback on 2 different teams.
really,
He is the first
he's
player.
Also, one of the only running back in the history of the league who has, I think, more passing touchdowns at a certain distance than him is Walter Payton.
Yeah.
And he had 3 of 30 plus. McCaffrey's had 2 of 30 plus.
People have slept on him a lot, I feel like, because of his injury bugs. But I think it was the system. In my opinion, I think it's because they were overusing him in Carolina in some cases.
He's not Derrick
And-
Henry. Like he can't
And
withstand.
also, they didn't have a very good line either. Like,
and
had
they didn't have a
decent
great
but
line
it
at
was just not
times.
good.
it wasn't great.
They lost a lot of their older veteran, linemen who were actually good. And now with the 49ers line, with a system where they're used to having really good option plays, really shifty running backs, just stuff like that. they are utilizing Christian McCaffrey the way he needs to be utilized.
And
Yeah.
also, the Rams' O-line has been terrible. And
That's
I
true.
can't
Ever
help-
since they lost Whitworth.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can't help but think that he was just, like, carrying their whole O-line to
Yeah, same thing with the
actually
Colts.
be okay.
Same thing with the Colts. When we lost, when we lost Anthony Costanzo a couple of years ago, we sucked at that point. Not that he played through some of the worst offensive line years ever for the Colts,
Yeah.
but he was always good. Like at least we could block the blind side. Now we can't do that. I'm really liking the Seahawks, Giants, and the Niners in the playoffs. Actually, obviously the Eagles, but like I want to see the Eagles are going to make it. I want to see the Niners, Seahawks, and Giants make it.
The Niners and Seahawks are in a head-to-head race. I think either one of them is going to win the division. I see it leaning the 49ers just because they have a very solid team.
I mean, the Seahawks, they really need to beat the Cardinals this week if they want.
They should.
And the Seahawks, they've proven they have a good offense. Like they can get something going.
Kenneth Walker
They
is-
just have not.
Well,
they're just
their
not
defense
as solid.
in the past couple of weeks has been one of the better defenses in the league. League.
That's
it's
true.
Just it's the Seahawks is how they always are. They start off the season with a terrible defense. Their defense just doesn't know how to play the game, and then they're just like, "Oh my gosh, we're in the NFL." Oh my bad, and then start playing magically better.
Do you think we'll ever see another Legion of Boom? Not from the Seahawks, but perhaps like in other, like maybe the Bills. Do we see something from the Bills? Maybe
The Bills have the best safety core in the league. Is
yeah,
what it says.
and their
They
D
have
line, their linebackers.
Matt Milano is a stud.
Von Miller has been insane.
Yep.
I
Just
mean,
like
That's
his
not really a
haircut.
part of the league.
All right, we're running low on time.
We
We need to finish these last two games.
Bills, Packers. I mean, like we're kind of talking about the Bills already.
Sure. There's not a whole lot to say about this game though. Bills crapped on the Packers. It was a
Packers,
lot. It
Aaron
wasn't
Rodgers
as close
is
as
trash.
it looked. He has no receivers.
That's true,
And
but
he's
he's still
washed.
trash.
And they didn't
what
trade
are
for
the-
anything.
Yeah, what are the Packers doing? They know they need a receiver, and they're just like,
They do this every year.
Aaron Rodgers will be like, "Can I have no?"
Yeah, pretty much. They do
"It's
it
a
every
candy
year.
store," but his mom is very strict.
Yeah. Well, moving on. I mean, like we already Bills Packers game. Who really cares?
27.
Bengals,
Easy,
Browns.
great win.
Um,
Price, you got
Lowell,
this.
shut
one. This is all you, Price.
Stupid game. I hated this game. Big factor in the Bengals' loss in this
Jonah
was
Williams.
O-line.
O-line. Jonah Williams has now given up. He's tied, I think, for first of giving up the most sacks. I think he gave up like 5 out of the 8 that game. Why would we stick Jonah Williams, who was awful, against
Myles
Garrett?
Garrett.
What is
What
the
is
thought
that?
process? And then the Bengals are like, "Oh, don't worry, we're gonna double team him."
Now
with
you know-
our backup
listen.
running back. It's like,
Samaje Perine.
now
Oh my
P.
God.
Ryan just
Why do they
runs
play
right
him so
past
much?
him.
Hey,
There's
now
so
you know
many
how the
plays.
Colts felt last year when we had to have a rookie LT play against Myles Garrett. We got absolutely freaking destroyed.
There was so many plays during that game where I was just like, if Joe Mixon was there, he would actually have done his job. But P. Ryan's just there, just doing trash because he is trash.
They need Giovanni Bernard.
They
Yes.
need.
God.
What happened to him? Did he retire?
No,
Giovanni Bernard is to the Bengals like Naheem Hines was to the Colts.
Could.
That's facts.
The Browns
Well, we didn't
just
cut Naeem
the
Hines.
Browns
We care
just
about
dominated
players.
that game.
Well,
440 total yards to the Bengals 229.
Well,
Jacoby
a
Brissett,
big-
elite.
a
Wait,
big factor of that-
wait. The defense had a lot of injuries.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
yeah,
They had
but
their starting
okay,
like
sure.
four.
But Jacoby Brissett is
Their
here's the
four
thing-
starting
here's the thing
corners were out.
here's the thing though.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I said okay,
Oh,
sure.
I thought you were saying
Yeah.
sure as in like.
Here's
no,
the
no.
thing though. It's Jacoby Brissett. A lot of people, he's not. A lot of people think he's not a great quarterback. A lot of people think he's a decent quarterback. Here's the thing though. Even if you guys don't have a lot of your starters, it's Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, when you're
No. Jacoby Brissett is a lot better than people give him credit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
When you're single
Oh,
covering,
I understand
when
what
you're
you
single
mean. Yeah.
covering Amari Cooper with the fourth string corner
at home.
At home.
on your team, then of course he's going to be able to throw to him because the guy on him is nowhere within like 15 yards of him.
17 for 22, 278 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing
also,
touchdown.
Nick Chubb is the best
Absolutely.
running back in the league. Didn't even say that. but-
No, over Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb is the best.
Not last
gonna-
year.
Saying
no
this,
doubt.
I'm hanging on to last year.
I
Jonathan
hate
Taylor.
complimenting the Browns, but the Browns did play a great game. Always putting pressure on our offense. Even
Do you have a gun to your head? Is that why you're making this concession?
yeah, I know.
I don't
never heard
want
you
them.
credit
I don't
another-
want them to start Deshaun Watson. I honestly would rather just see them play Jacoby Brissett.
What do you have against Deshaun
No,
Watson?
but they paid money for him.
No,
They're
paid
gonna
money.
start
They're
him.
gonna start
They
him,
need to.
and then he's gonna play like dog water, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, now we wasted all that money."
Yeah, they guaranteed what, $230 or something
I
of his
mean,
No,
money.
and
He
they
is a
gave
really good
away
player.
and they gave away
He is
worse.
not
Used
a-
to be. Did you
Well-
see him in preseason? Oh my
Okay,
God,
that
he was
his
awful.
first time playing though, in like
Exactly.
a
This will
while.
be his second time playing. You know
Okay.
why?
yeah, but he's gonna like.
Against the Texans
He's
defense.
also been like practicing a little more.
The
He
Texans-
wasn't-
Official
he wasn't
prediction
practicing
here.
during
This is
his
a
time
hot
with the
take.
Texans.
This is, I don't even know if you'd call this a hot take. When Deshaun Watson comes back to play the Texans in
Is it at home
week
or is it
11,
away?
I don't know where it is. Derek Stingley will pick him off twice.
Twice.
Derek Stingley, 2
The
interceptions
Texans
against Deshaun
defense-
Watson. I'm calling it
The
right
Texas
now.
defense, they fight.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
And with the Browns O line,
except when it comes to rushing.
they're all
Yeah, then they just like,
Nick Chubb's probably gonna walk all over him.
You guys are.
But I see Deshaun Watson getting sacked at least twice.
You guys are saying
I
that
don't
like
think so.
that Deshaun Watson's gonna do terrible. He might be a terrible person, but he's still a good player.
we'll see.
We'll see. He is a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just when you do not play for long periods of time, especially at the NFL level, it doesn't matter how much training you do, how much rehab, all that, you're not going to be playing at the same caliber
No,
that
he
you
hasn't
did.
played into. This is like everyone who's
Yeah, he
like,
just needs to
everyone's
stretch a little
like,
bit,
Andrew
you know?
Luck needs to make a return to the NFL.
No.
He wouldn't be good. Like
He'd be the worst quarterback
He
in the
could
league.
have been one of the greatest QBs of all time, but you're out for that long. No, you're done. You lose your talent at that point.
But
Look,
overall,
all Deshaun Watson needs to do is just stretch a little bit. Just
No.
Do some arm
no.
do some arm circles, and then it'll be fine.
Is that all you're gonna say? All
Yeah, that's
right,
all
you're
I'm
done.
saying.
You're done
Oh
talking
my
for
God.
All right. Well, anyways,
anyway,
I was
what I
about
was
to
trying to
say-
say was pretty much Bengals, what they need to do. Zach Taylor needs to
get fired.
either that or quit being so conservative with the play calling. I mean, it's like the most predictable play calling of all time.
You mean Frank
Give Joe
Taylor?
Mixon
yeah,
the
Frank
ball.
Taylor. But
Give Joe Mixon the ball.
we need to fix
You
it.
know the Bengals and
Fire-
the Colts have a lot of same problems.
Fire everyone
Wait.
on the.
What?
Anyway, we need to fire everyone on the O-line. We need to get Quentin Spain again. I didn't understand that, why we did not pick Quentin Spain back up, because he was the glue to our offensive line last season. I know that's not saying a lot, but he's what kept us together. We need to do something about the cornerback situation.
Out of everyone in here, the three of us can agree. We thought Nico's team, the Seahawks, we thought their team was going to be the worst. We
But
thought
instead
it's
they
the
were going to
Colts.
be in a rebuilding.
Yeah.
The Colts, we were kind of a medium. We knew they wouldn't be the greatest.
We knew they were gonna.
But-
In the words of
yeah.
Baker Mayfield, but altered a little bit. What did he say?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
You know when he was like the Browns is the Browns, the Colts is
that
the
was
Colts.
Juju.
Well,
That
yeah,
was
and then
Juju.
Baker said it
Oh.
again when
Yeah.
they beat them in the playoffs.
So-
whatever.
So, yeah, I think what we're going to see from the Colts is we might go into rebuilding. We have a lot of talent. And by I mean we have a good couple of good players.
If we're stupid,
What?
How do we get to the Colts?
because we're talking about
we're talking about rebuilding.
thought
We're
we were
talking
about
about
teams that have similar problems.
yeah,
the
like
Bengals and the
our
Colts.
O lines are
okay,
bad.
yeah,
Our
yeah.
running backs can't produce.
Because of our O-lines are-
Your quarterback
Also 'cause
is
they don't
good.
even
Our
use them.
quarterback is
We don't know
proving
yet.
himself.
All
We'll see.
right,
We'll see.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to end it. So Van, end
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That's
people
our-
are tired of hearing about the Colts. So
Shut up. That's
Yeah,
our
the
week
Colts
8
suck.
recap. Be on the lookout, like I said, for more interviews coming up in the future. More shorts if we ever decide to stop being
And
lazy.
apparently we have a
and make
special
them.
guest
And yes, we will
that
have
I
a
did not
special
know
guest
about.
next week. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and we will see you next week.
who day?